So, how do we tell kids about our family problem in a way that's helpful?
Mhm.
Um, and we know that these kiddos who grow up in a home that's impacted by substance use disorder are 4 to 7 times more likely to repeat. And something that's not often talked about, but I personally feel like really strongly about, is that we see the kids who grow up with a parent who's struggling with drugs or alcohol. And then we see them begin to struggle and maybe reaching for drugs and alcohol as a way of coping earlier on in adolescence. But then there's other kids in the family that might be responding to the exact same family problem, but just differently. So we see there's all these little roles that people take on, the perfectionist or the hero
Mhm.
child or the scapegoat or the lost child that just kind of isolates
Mhm.
away. And oftentimes, especially that little perfectionist child, they often grow up and they don't ever drink or use drugs because they know firsthand, I won't touch that stuff. I never will. I know what it did to my family.
Mhm.
But then we check back into them, and who did they marry?
The alcoholic.
They sure did. And so we feel like, yay, we did so much prevention there. They've done everything wonderful. They went to college and they graduated and they have an amazing job and their life is perfect. But then they marry someone that's really struggling
Right.
because that's been their role.
Right.
I'm here to be a support. I'm here
Mhm.
to um, there's lots of motivations for those behaviors, but and then the cycle just repeats. Now we have
Mhm.
another family system where things are not quite right, and we don't know exactly what to say, and we go from replicating basically our understanding of home, our understanding of love, our
Mhm.
understanding of relationship from childhood, and then we've brought it into our adult experience,
Right.
and so we just see these things getting passed down from generation to generation. So the question is, how do we prevent our kids not only from engaging in risky behavior with drugs and alcohol, but how do we prevent them from being in relationships that aren't good for them?
Mhm.
And we want ultimately, I want my kids to feel like they are who God created them to be, and to have peace inside. And I think happiness kind of comes in those moments where you're really lucky, the joy and the happiness, but peace can be this undertone
Mhm.
of your life when you find recovery or when um, get some things figured out. So that's my hope for my kids